and I'ma do it again. Watch me win, then watch me do it again. Tell 'em I can't take no loss. My team hold no L's, no. Aiming for the top, can't make it by myself. I ain't taking no loss. I ain't taking no loss. Look, I'm a
Peace, and welcome to another episode of Elevate the Mic. I'm your host, Max Mupese. Today's show is brought to you by Urban Eats MTL, a platform that showcases some of the best restaurants you could find in Montreal. If ever you want to have some fun, entertainment, and all of that, make sure you check out their YouTube page, social media page, Urban Eats MTL. Now let's get to the show. Today, we have a guest who's a young up-and-coming artist out of the city of Montreal, specifically NDG area, who's been making a little bit of noise, I would say a lot of noise soon enough, and who deserves a lot of recognition. Let us all welcome Andre Waithe. How you feeling, man?
Good. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. I love it.
Listen. Yeah, I've been seeing your work. For real. Like, what I could tell about your work is it's authentic.
Appreciate that.
You know, it comes from an authentic place. When I think of Andre Waithe, and your nickname is also Dot, right?
Yes, sir.
Where does that name come from, and how did you get that name?
I feel like as I was growing and becoming an artist, at first I started as an athlete. So I took a trip to Syracuse, and I had this jacket, and it said Unknown Desire. So I took that, and I had my name as UNK at first, when I first started. And then my homies, like, they used to just say U-Dot, and then it just caught on, and then it just became like a genuine thing.
Got it.
And then kind of everybody knows me as Dot, and just took that and made it shorter. And then it just kind of got around the city and kind of just established my name as that. So it kind of just became a authentic thing from my friends. So
Your friends, okay, I got it.
Yes, sir.
So the U and K, pretty much the dot replaced the K.
yeah, just
Okay.
it made no sense, but like it just caught on. It was just something that just, everybody just got used to and just calling me that, and then it was just like everybody just rolled with it, and
Got it.
that's pretty much it. So that's where that comes from. It's my family for real.
That's what's up,
Yes,
man.
sir.
And you also grew up in NDG.
NDG.
What are you most grateful for growing up in NDG?
What I'm most grateful for is community aspect. I feel like what NDG has is a lot of like dope and genuine people, and I'm grateful to have people like Javon, MK, and my boy Jaheim, who we all just kind of stick together in a way, that I feel like most of the city doesn't do, but I'm kind of grateful for just having people you can rely on.
Right.
I feel like that's what means the most. You got people that whenever you're going through tough times, like, all right, I got my boys from the hood who's always going to be with me no matter where I'm going or what I'm going through.
Dope.
So that's what means the most.
That's solid, because at the end of the day, it's not even a friendship. It's a brotherhood. At the end of the day, it becomes a little bit more tighter. And
Yes, sir.
you guys get along and have the same types of values.
Yeah, it grows.
That's important.
It grows.
And I was gonna ask you, where do you get your inspiration from? Because I was listening to your most recent project, and I get the impression that there's a little bit of K-Dot influence. Baby Keem, especially with Ja. I'm like, okay, Ja switched up his flow as well. Very dope. I love it. I love the whole project, which we're gonna talk about a little bit later.
Yeah.
Now, could you tell us who else inspires you and who else inspires your sound and vision?
So obviously a lot of Kendrick. Everybody knows that. They probably correlate the Dot and me being also my nickname is Dot too, as it kind of being my inspo from Kendrick. But weirdly enough, D'Angelo.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
D'Angelo's
my favorite artist ever. The best artist to touch this planet. I don't want to hear
Wow.
it.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I feel like what I've learned from D'Angelo, especially from Brown Sugar and Voodoo, is it comes from the soul. So for me, it was like, okay, like, what are we speaking about? What are we trying to tell the people? And my mom always taught me, like, being vulnerable. There's nothing wrong with that, So I feel like when listening to D'Angelo and just all those authentic sounds, and it just comes from a place of true, like, okay, I feel you. Like, you really went through some stuff, and you brought it to the music, you know what I mean?
Got it.
And, you showed the people, like, this is who I am. So I feel like even though the sound is very much not the same, I feel like the soul is where I take that from like D'Angelo and all the projects he's put out.
Got it.
So I would say D'Angelo for sure.
When you said D'Angelo, I was looking up your project, and it made me think of the song which I love with her name's Kira.
Kira, my homegirl.
What You Need. So would you say that kind of song inspired you? Well, D'Angelo's sound inspired you to create that kind of song?
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, especially with Kira, I feel like me and her, we've had a lot of chemistry throughout the times that I've known her. So definitely, like, I try to like implement what I listen to from D'Angelo into stuff like that when I get to create with Kira, because it's like we get to kind of get into that soul bag for a little bit and show the people like, okay, like, yo, we could really make some real shit, you know? We could really make some dope, genuine stuff. So
That's it.
100%.
That's
100%.
it. No, it reminded me of the neo soul vibes I used
Yes,
to listen to. I still listen to once in a while. It brought back good memories.
Yeah, that's the root. That's the root of everything.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's the root.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And also on your song, well, it's, I would say, an interlude, right? On Jacob.
What Jacob said.
Yeah.
Yes,
Whose
sir.
voice was that?
So that's my boy Jacob Mbio. His name goes by George.
Okay.
So we used to hoop together. He's also another rapper from the city. So I had basically told him to send me a voice message on Why You Love Music. You know, I feel like a lot of people in the city, and I don't mean to like start dissing people. Don't let's
Hey,
not
speak
take
your
offense.
truth, man.
But I feel like a lot of people just make music to make music, and there's no like, you're not being genuine like at all, you know. So I feel like what he said in that song is like, he ended off with like, the real is always gonna be heard, and like, and that really like resonated with me, because it's just facts. It's like, I kind of look at this Kendrick stuff right now and him being on top of the world right now as, it's like, yo, I've been true to the game since I started, and like now everybody's kind of recognizing that, you know. So the real always speaks.
Real.
So
Yeah.
I don't know, that last song meant a lot to me, because this is what we make music for, you know. We don't just get in the booth to just rap, or just get in the booth to just you know, talk nonsense. Like, nah, we're speaking existence and speaking like our experiences and passing it on to people who share the same experiences.
It's powerful. You just said experiences.
Exactly.
And it leads me to the next question I wanted to ask you specifically about that, because it's important to live it. You know, it's a lifestyle to you guys. It's not just, you know, making a 16 or a 32 and then releasing it. I could tell that it's more to it for you guys. And when I say experience, what unique personal experience are you hoping people truly feel through the track, or even the whole album, the whole project?
I want people to just be in touch with their emotions. I feel like that's what the project represents. Is it's okay to like not be at your best. It's okay to fall, but it's like, how are you gonna get up, you know? So a lot of this project is, you know, from the first song, me talking about what it's like to be 21 now, and all the things that I went through. And
Wait, you said you're 21 now?
21 now.
Jeez. I would have never thought, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, it's just, I hope the project makes you feel like you could do whatever you want to do in life. You know, it's okay to fail. It's okay to not have it right away, but just know like what's next is coming. You know what I mean? So it's like, don't even worry about it. Just live your life.
That's
And
it.
just be true to yourself. Exactly.
What's next is coming. That's a quote right there, man. Listen, shoot.
Yeah.
Put that on a shirt and let
Exactly.
people know that that's the brand or whatnot.
Exactly.
That's it. Now, do you think, because I always wanted to ask that question to an artist that is in tune with delivering a message and connecting with this audience. Do you think artists should have a defined target audience? If not, or even why or why not?
I don't think it's a necessity. I feel like it's gonna come naturally, that you'll have a natural target audience who come and support you. I feel like that's what is supposed to happen organically, because I mean, you know, you want people who resonate with you, and you know, like, no matter where you are in life, bro, we all share the same experience, just in different ways. So it's like, you know what love is, and I know what love is, but we just speak love in different languages. So it's like, regardless, somebody's gonna resonate with your music more than the other person is. So I feel like I don't really focus on like having a target audience. I know that it will come, and I know that there's certain people who listen to the music I listen to, and there's certain people who don't, and that's fine, So, as I said, I don't try to make music to pleasure you, or like, I want you to really feel some stuff, So if I make something and you feel it, then I rock with you, And if you don't feel it, it's fine, You're gonna end up finding what resonates with you the most. So
that's it. That's powerful
exactly.
what you're saying, because you're letting the work speak for itself, and then it's gonna attract those that are aligned.
Exactly. We all share the same experiences.
I like that. And your latest project is called. Yeah, is it your first project, if I'm not mistaken, or
it's my first like
official?
body of work.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, it's my first body of work, 8 songs. But I've released a project called "You Might Not Like This" last year. So.
And tell us about why'd you call that project "You Might Not Like This"? Because I wanna do the whole, the
process,
the process, the follow up, and then know why exactly.
I've honestly had that idea for a minute. So the reason why I titled "You Might Not Like This" is because, I feel like when you do speak certain things, people don't like it because it's true. So I feel like with "You Might Not Like This," I said a lot of things that were like, oh, people could take to heart, because like, dang, this is what I'm going through, like, dang, like I don't like that,
Right.
So it's like, I don't know, that was my process of going through it, of the whole "You Know I Might Like This" idea, and it was kind of like showing my confidence to the world too. I'm not afraid to talk about what people don't want to talk about. So it's like, you either like it or you don't. And if you take it the wrong way, then I can't change your feelings.
That's it.
But it's the truth, and the truth always matters.
You're standing on what you stand on. You're standing on business.
For
That's
sure.
it. And which I was talking about the process. I want to know, why'd you call this album or this project "What's Next for Me"?
It happened so like natural, because I didn't have a title when I was making the project. I was just making songs, like long nights, early mornings. And I think as time went by and me just discovering, okay, this is what I'm talking about in these songs, it was just like, yo, like, really, what's next for me? Like, like, how do I want to be perceived as an artist? I speak a lot about being a musician. Like, that's where I really want my end goal to be, is to not just be known as a rapper.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people don't know, like, I produced all of this. Like, I engineered all of this, I played a lot of the chords. I did a lot of these things on it, So it's like, for me, it's, as I said, growing up, being an athlete at first, you never would have thought that the motive would have been, oh, now he's an artist to the city. Everybody's like, dang, you were so good at basketball. You could have made it to the league. And it's like, but this is where I want to be and where I know it could be.
Got it. You said you also spoke on going to Syracuse. You mean D1 Syracuse, or?
No, not Syracuse. No. Like being an athlete.
Okay,
just
got
being
it.
an athlete, not Syracuse.
Okay. Because when you said Syracuse, I was like, okay, you went D1 Syracuse. I'm like, oh, that's what's up.
Nah.
Dope. All right. And any regrets so far based on like the decisions you've made
in life?
Yeah, or even.
Not at all. I feel like that's a good question. I feel like I wish in my teenage years, I wish I would have maybe been a little bit more focused in school. That's really it. Just to see where things could have been, Yeah. But other than that, there's no regrets, because I'm happy where I'm at right now. I've never felt this happy. Like, music is genuinely what keeps me waking up every single day. So no regrets at all. Just hunger, man.
That's it, man. Thinking about different lyrics to come up with, different beat sounds or whatnot, sonics. That's powerful, man. Because you're always in creating mode.
Yes,
creation.
Yes, sir.
All right. And I also want to talk about your most recent album release party, which was at Cartier's home, right?
Yes, sir. The family.
What do you think makes your music so relatable to the city?
It's a good question. I don't know. I feel like another thing is I don't think my music is relatable to the city, too. Like, there's some...
Got it.
That might be a crazy statement to say, but nah, there's some people who came out the city who really spoke some real shit. But I feel like my age group, there's not a lot, you know? I got MK who's always speaking his truth, and my group who I know are always speaking truth, and I'm excited for them to drop because they're going to be on the same type of timing as I'm on. So I just feel like right now we're kind of changing the culture into making it, we're changing the culture and letting people know that, yo, like, we're not just here to make music. Like, we're here to talk about what we go through, what we love, why we do it, and just all the experiences that we share, you know, and just the process of how we make this and all of that.
Yeah. Because I could agree with what you're saying. What's the song I was listening to? I'm not going to say it's Get Yours. I would say it was A Very Hard Truth.
Very hard truth.
Yeah, that's the one. I was like, that's some grown man shit right there.
Very hard truth.
Yeah, I could tell. And you don't even have to, well, after listening to this project, what you're saying reaffirms it, basically, because I was listening to it, I'm like, shoot, I'm 32, and it speaks to me, you know what I mean? I'm like, that's some real stuff. I got to give you that. And so I just want to double down on what you said about how your music is not relatable, or it's not necessarily, it doesn't resonate with a lot of people in the city of Montreal. Would you say is also based on the frequency of the city? Because sometimes that's what happens, right?
For sure. I think because of what is mainstream, a lot of people are not really focused. And, you know, attention span is pretty slow now, you know? So people are not really ready to sit down and hear somebody talk real stuff. So I know, like, I'm glad that it's shifting, though, because I see a lot of people being like, yo, like, it's dope to have somebody who's really speaking, you know, like, who's going to have that voice, you know? Who's going to talk about what's right and what's not wrong, or just, I don't know, it's just, at the end of the day, I just want to make music.
Right.
You know, music is for sure always number one, so... I don't know. As I said, whoever resonates with it, and that's all that matters too. So,
and to your point, I would even play God's advocate.
Yeah.
I look at, you know, Quartier's Home, the whole movement they got going on, and it does resonate, even if it feels like for the most part it doesn't. It does resonate to that community, or even
for sure,
those that are associated. So I would say there's the best of both worlds, or best of both worlds in a way, you know. So let's switch gears, man. Let's talk about the craziest pranks. Like, I like to ask that question just to know where your mindset was as a teen, or even as a youngin. What's the craziest prank you pulled as a kid?
I can't even tell you because I just troll so much. It's like MK gets it on the daily. So it's like I can't even like really tell you. I don't know. I just be trying to crack jokes, but I can't really give you a prank off the top of my head. I might take too long.
Okay.
Yeah, I might have to go
Not
through.
even one that just made you laugh at yourself, like, shit, that was funny.
I don't know, like, I can't even give it to you still. I can't. I really can't.
There's many of them.
There's so many.
Got it.
There's so many. Scaring people, you know, that's regular though. You know, I guess scaring people is regular.
Jeez. So tell us about 4DG.
The family.
What's the vision behind it, and what should people keep an eye on out for?
4DG is a collective of dope artists, musician. So myself, Sona, Zuvi, Jaheim, Fix, Cody, Keys, Kira, who's also on the track, Caden, all of them, all just dope, genuine people. So it's just a lot of us who grew up from NDG, obviously. It started with Zuvi, Sona, myself, and Jaheim. And it's just kind of bringing that culture to not only hip-hop, but music, you know? We all have, like, different types of genres that we like to tackle. So I feel like we're coming, and Zuvi just dropped something, too, What's Your Head? Watch Your Head. He just dropped that. Y'all gotta go check that out, Zuvi. I feel like we're just coming and just ready to change the culture. As I said, this whole interview is just, we just want to show people what it's like to be authentic. And like, you know, all of us produce our own stuff and engineer and kind of come from that like musical background where it's just not writing a 16. It's like, okay, you know, going deep into depth with what it's gonna sound like. What's the outcome of this track gonna sound like? So that's pretty much it. Just a group of hungry individuals.
That's it, man. Shout outs to all of y'all.
Yes.
DG on the map.
Yeah.
I want to double down on Cartier's Home.
Yeah.
What's your relationship with Cartier's Home, and what are you grateful for based on that relationship?
Steez is like, he's like an OG to me, you know. Shout out to Jerome. He kind of connected us.
Yes,
And
Jerome.
I feel like all of them, like Steez, Yo-Yo, Paulo, Henley, Ralph, everybody in that building, they just do stuff at a very high level. And like for me as the youngin, to kind of be a part of that it's more that I'm grateful to be with people who I can look up to. And they create art, you know?
Yeah.
He stands by
Facts,
art.
man.
So it's like I get to kind of take that inspo and bring it to my music, you know? So it's fire. Like, as I said, they're family, and Satiz has helped me a lot, especially with this rebrand of me being Andre Waithe. Like, he sat down with me, and at first he told me, like, yo, like, you know, you should change it to Andre Waithe, like, because my middle name is Andre, you know? And I was just like, at first I thought it was crazy. I'm not gonna hold you, but I don't know. I got a lot of confidence from all of them. Just seeing their work and just how they work on a day-to-day basis is dope, and I take that and bring it to my music. So just really looking up to all of them, for real.
That's it.
That's really
man.
the family.
Hey, that's powerful. Thinking about that's pretty much mentors, like mentors that
all of them.
you know
All of them.
that put you on game and whatnot.
Yes, sir.
That's what's
All of
up,
them.
man. And I want to shift gears into the segment called "If I Had the Chance to."
Okay.
So, "If I Had the Chance to" is basically you sitting in front of your 16-year-old self and having a conversation with that person. So, what would be the first things that would come out to your mind? What would be the first things you would tell that person if you'd sit down in front of your 16-year-old self?
16, huh?
Yeah, man.
Take your time, you know? No rush. You don't got everything figured out. I feel like at 16, I was all over the place. You know? Now, I'm kind of more calm and more understanding. When things don't go right, it's okay. Like, we're still going to push. We still got to go to work in the morning.
Trust me. Trust me.
Still got to go to work in the
Trust
morning.
me.
So, just telling myself to just keep pushing through it. If you fall down, don't stay down there. You know what I mean? So, that's really what it is just keep being the better you, you know? I never liked seeing things on the internet and trying to replicate that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just like, for me, I was always corny, because it's like you're not showing. It's like a facade, you know. I never wanted to put on a facade. So then I'm always glad that at 16 I always stayed true to myself too. You know, I kind of give him credit for, like, okay, you stuck through it, and you know there's still more to go. You know, so it's like, yeah, honestly, just taking your time and just letting God do His thing.
That's it, man.
Exactly.
And what's next for Andre Waithe?
Man, a lot of more music. A lot of music, I'll tell you that. A lot of music. Definitely ready for people to see this musician side of me, and just showing that to the world, letting people know that it's just not about the raps, it's really about the music. Being a better man, better person, you know, outside of the music, just being true to myself, true to the people around me, true to my family, you know, and true to what the future holds. So that's really what's next for me.
Got it. And when it's all said and done, how do you want to be remembered?
Man, the greatest musician ever.
Oh, man. Hey,
That's a big pedestal,
I gotta
but
give you that for that, man.
Yeah.
Nah,
That's a big one, but
Hey, speak it into existence,
speak
man.
into existence. That's all it is, you know. Just taking inspo from all these musicians and, you know, using it and passing it on too, you know. Not only just for myself, but for the people who end up looking up to me or the people around me. Just, I want to be remembered as that person who was always there for somebody. So it's more than the music, but the music is just is what
It's like
people
a
know.
vehicle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's what
Got
they
it.
know.
I want you to finish this sentence. If it wasn't for hip hop,
If it wasn't for hip hop, man. If it wasn't for hip hop, damn. Hip hop has. Damn, that's a good. If it wasn't for hip hop,
yeah,
I don't know where I'd be.
shoot.
You know, I feel like hip hop has Jay-Z, Nas, Big L, like 50, Kendrick, all these Tribe Called Quest, MF Doom, all these legends. Like hip hop has shaped me to become a better person, as I said, outside of the music, just because it's authentic, you know, especially when it comes to like hip hop, it's always, it started as what's real and speaking the truth and experiences. So yeah, if it wasn't for hip hop, I don't know who I'd be. For real.
That's powerful, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, glad to have you here, Andre. Feel free to let people know how they could follow you, get in touch with you.
Andre Waithe on all socials. What's next for me? Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube, whatever you want. And NDG. That's really it,
man. That's it.
Exactly.
I just want to say, man, I appreciate your work. I appreciate what you're doing and how you're inspiring the youth. I could feel the hunger you have in you, man.
Appreciate
I could
it.
feel it. I
For
could.
sure.
I see that you guys, the group of people you're hanging around, the group of people you have in your entourage, are focused, or you know they have that relentless mindset. Just keep that relentless mindset, keep that spirit, and you know great things are about to happen for sure, man.
Appreciate you. As always.
No doubt.
Yes,
Love. There you have it. Another episode of Elevate the Mic, where we elevate mindsets and skill sets of individuals who are part of the hip hop community. Peace. All right, the drop, right? Drop 1 minute.